Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our Enterprise AI in Action Roundtable. I'm Arseniy Tarasov, board member at EU Technology Chamber, AI Transformation Lead at BPS International, and CEO at Hybrid. And the goal of these roundtables is to discuss real-life examples of AI adoption in the industry. And our today's session is with Behsan Engel, CEO of IRAMA Europe. Welcome to our roundtable.
Thank you, Arseniy, so much. I'm very happy to be here for this very important topic.
It is actually. So I wanted to start with the discussion of AI transformation. And when we talk about AI transformation, we really look at 5 key aspects. So first is big data as the new asset class. Second is the internal processes, market interaction, corporate culture, and probably the most difficult is new product and new product features development and introduction. So you've managed to enrich your existing product with AI functionality and make it more efficient. So today we'll discuss your AI journey. All right. So tell us a little bit about your company and your solution.
So at IRAMA Europe, we are transforming the agriculture sector and the food sector. We have all around the world, very shortly, a food crisis, and we developed a sustainable biotech, deep tech farming solution, which is optimized and have the precision of AI to bring higher yields, to grow multiple vegetables and fruits through either on a small scale or on a larger scale. And through the conversation, I would share more details how the optimization of AI allowed us to go through many challenges, because this technology using vertical farming or hydroponic in general has been existing for so long, but the use of AI has transformed the whole challenges toward opportunities, which is, yes, it's a huge solution in terms of not only in terms of climate, but also in food security.
So tell us a little bit about how this solution helps the real estate industry. We discussed it when we were preparing for this call, and it's pretty exciting for any basically property owner, right?
Yes, it's specifically for the property because we're talking about urban farming, we're talking about in-store or the indoor farming, and this is how to transform your building and the view of what is building to more as a food production and on a very smaller scale or on a larger scale as, yes, it has many financial capabilities, how it can be used, because you either can grow your own food on a smaller scale or you can grow food for cities. And to have that on inside the buildings from one term, also you can have it in the buildings in terms of cooling and heating. We would not step within that today. I will focus on the farming in terms of building and the integration that has been done and how we can have this precision. And I mean by sustainability, not only the economic and social sustainability, also the financial sustainability of it. Yes.
So tell us how you came to this idea and how did you prioritize your AI initiatives?
So it's very also worth to mention that our products are already very, very successful and launched also in Saudi Arabia, in the market there. And this solution has been adopted because, as I mentioned, without this precision, we have a lot of limitation. So we can grow very limited products. They might work, we have a lot of uncertainty, and we cannot have a solution to have food production because of the larger scale of it and the diversity. So once you have, for the plants to have it from a biotechnology perspective, through the precision of exactly what the plants need, but not in an artificial way that the plant is artificial, but bringing the very natural, the very best spring day ever that the plant needs through AI. And yes, so to have that integrated, you open the door for big, huge opportunities of what you can grow and how you can transform, again, your building and what you're capable of having within your own building. Yes.
So do I understand you correctly? So the idea is that basically it's a virtual farm solution, but because of enriched AI technology, you can basically get a lot of benefits in any building. This could be a business center, a retail location, a residential building. Maybe you have a picture of your solution because it looks pretty nice.
Yes, exactly. Yes, you can have it in any building that has, it's a plug and play that has an electricity and a place where you the water can flow. And actually, even we talked about this also, Arsene, even the word AI or the word artificial intelligence sometimes makes the people, am I going to a technology that I'm not aware? It's also very user friendly. It is the backstage. It's like a software. So you do have accuracy, you do have a lot of yes, in the background what's going, but for the owners, for the implementers, or for the partners, they also do not have to integrate on a very technical level on that, but still they can have the precision of it, yes, and the accuracy.
So tell us a little bit about your solution selection, right? How did you choose the right technology, the right solution for your product?
So you go, yeah, through a process of step, of course, decision making, through problem definition, as I mentioned, because we're speaking about food. But of course, in this context, I have to mention as well, we're talking about the integrating of food in many areas, also within the building itself, whether it's a company building or household building, that you have for example, an access for certain food or for certain vegetables in terms of also costs. And then this is for the building in precisely, but in general for the food, having the water scarcity, the climate change that we are talking about in comparison of traditional farming or greenhouse farming. There's very high risks going on that and a lot of changes. So the problem definition is really long. And then we go through the stakeholder engagement, who's involving in this, from a product itself, from IT, we're talking about here a sustainable product, from environmental and sustainable governance process, and yes, multiple stakeholder engagement. Also from the concept, from the concept of the deployment of the concept, as I mentioned, because the product is already validated in Saudi Arabia. So that process has been already done, which gives us a huge advantage that we have, it's already validated. But in the process, you need to go to the deployment of the concept, the test of the AI integration, the evaluation, the crop performance for it, how the staff are adaptable with it, the productivity, the accuracy, and for example, the customers, the users interaction. And yeah, I can sum up with data review, how to optimize. We're speaking about artificial intelligence. There is a performance, and there is a huge also ground to not only optimize, to innovate, because we're working with plants, and there is a huge field to optimize and learn from that.
So how long did it take for you to integrate the AI technology in your product? Was it weeks, months, years? How would you assess that?
It was years, as it's also done. It took 6 years for the whole product, for the AI by itself, the whole product to be launched and validated, because we're talking an interaction fully, not only about the technology. Again, we're speaking about food. That's why it's very important from many different aspects. Yes, so you cannot just answer the technology just from the aspect of technology. It needs from its application and its acceptance and its validation. So if you mean within that, it took years, but from the technology itself, yeah, takes much shorter time.
Okay.
Of the sector. Yeah.
Interesting. So, I mean, in any project, in any implementation, right, in any AI adoption initiative, there is always a question of risk, right? And of course, for executive risk assessment and for executives, for board of directors, the question of risk assessment and mitigation is one of the key questions. So in your journey, in your AI adoption journey, how did you assess risks, and what was your kind of risk mitigation plan?
Yes, so we're speaking about here about sensors, for example, of the accuracy of the sensor. We want to make sure that the plant have the best environment ever. So the sensors are accurate? Is yeah, the redundancy also for the sensors, the automation, because we do have two modes. It can be fully automated or with manual. In terms of full automation, if there is any failures, if there is any errors, if there is any more data that need to be fed for that, and yes, the model by itself and the retraining of the model, how it could be, of course, in general, not only in terms of threats, in general of the copyright threats and how it's done. Of course, we're talking about plans and a huge aspect of innovation, but still there are some aspect of security as well, and the engagement or disengagement of the customers, of course, depends on where it's implemented. For example, when it's in a supermarket, how it is, how the customers are engaged or not engaged, it would affect a lot of the risk of the whole result. And we're talking about also mobile app and the integration between the mobile app and the data what we have, and that's very important. Yes.
I guess you don't have the personal data risk at the same time. How about cybersecurity? Is this something that was on your agenda as well? Cybersecurity and data privacy.
Definitely, yes. And yeah, we are informing ourselves because this is also a new age of it. So it has the cybersecurity part, but this might be a bit less risky than full other products, because again, what we're providing, it comes also from a business aspect where the security is very important. But still, it's a huge topic, and yes, we're on the radar on regulation, optimization, and so on.
Okay, cool. Now, the next question is, I mean, I would say any executive or board member would look at is the success criteria, right, and the key metrics. I mean, there are so many times I heard, okay, so how do we measure success of AI adoption or digital transformation implementation? And there are all sorts of different aspects. So when you launch this product, when you launch this initiative, what are your key, success criteria and metrics?
To be honest, this is very exciting, again, because we're speaking about growing food. So we're talking about the yield optimization. We're not doing anything not natural, but when the plants can have spring all the year, we can, for some greens or some plants, grow every month. We're talking about a vertical farming. So the yield optimization, how much we can produce, it's astonishing, honestly.
Right.
We are talking about more than 97% water saving. This is done in general with hydroponics, but you can be more precise in these savings and utilization. And of course, the growth cycle reduction in general, that would be optimized. And we are talking all about natural growth. So we're not doing anything. This is very important to say, that we're just optimizing the natural environment of the plants. And yes, from the data we can have from the engagement of the customers, and in general, from a science and research perspective, innovation perspective, all the data information we can have to learn about the plants and their environments. Also, it's very fascinating. And yes, of course, this is on the edge. It gives us a lot of differentiation. It gives us lots of space to innovate and also retain knowledge and share knowledge. And that's, yeah, also very, very exciting.
How much data have you got, I wonder? Because we have, for example, collected about, I mean, our data set is almost 4 years old. So we have huge data set of different technical processes happening. And that's why, for example, our machine learning identifies anomalies and inefficiencies in different technical processes.
Yes.
So there is a lot of learning going on. Looking at your data set, how big is your data set, and
yeah,
how
for
do you
now,
see it
it's not
retraining?
Yeah, it's not big at all, because We are also starting in Germany, and we're targeting Europe, and we see it as a very different market. It is, of course, market as in Saudi Arabia. So we'd like to see it from a startup scene. That is, we're starting from the scratch in it. So that's also an exciting part within the journey to have it from a market analysis as well, with because this is a very fit within also the building, because we're talking about, as I said, in-store urban farming. So to have this data and compare it in general with very different elements that we have within the building itself, for example, in terms of savings, in terms of, so not only in terms of farming, we're drifting away a bit from the farming, but still, of course, there. And this where our data, we need to navigate how to present it, how to collect it, because it has different dimensions. We're just not having the product. It has, for the building, like in a very playful way, we would say that the building itself is producing food. So that,
exactly.
and these indicators are very, very interesting, not just from the product. Yes, not just from in farming.
Okay, maybe you can show, and then you can share the picture of your product, or we will later when we do the recording, we put it in the recording, because when I saw how it looks, it's pretty amazing, because I'm just thinking that almost any building operator or building owner can install it in their reception area or canteen area and make it much more attractive. But also it's a symbol of, on the one hand, sustainability, on the other hand, very advanced AI technologies. So we're coming to the end of our roundtable. I would say my last question would be about lessons learned. Right, this is a very interesting journey, both in terms of product innovation, risk management, risk assessment, but also presenting this solution to the market. So share with us, what are the key lessons that you learned in this journey as a CEO of a company?
The lessons learned are, because we are in the food and agriculture sector, is actually the balance. Yes, we are, this is like from a very starting from value perspective. Yes, we are focusing on very futuristic and very deep tech part, but also we ground ourselves as well, and with the natural. That's why it's very important to have both sides, especially from agricultural part. That's why also we are also in negotiation to support farmers in that. So that's from the very base of the sector it is. And also lesson learned that, like any tech, trial and error is very important within the journey. So we are in this phase. And lastly, collaborations, because taking new technologies, going in a futuristic, collaboration is super important. This is a blue ocean. Some people either skeptical to speak because they think lack of knowledge, or they think they have something new, they need to hide it. But this is a very, very blue ocean where collaboration must be on the top of priorities, and it's always beneficial at such technologies and such heading.
So then what would be your recommendation that you can give to other CEOs, to other board members who are just starting this AI journey, and they're looking at different ways how they can integrate AI technologies, how they can implement AI transformation initiatives? What would be your recommendations and key ideas?
Yes, from a mindset, have a curiosity of a child. There is no wrongs and or goods in that. I just have the curiosity to explore. From strategy perspective, is to see exactly what are the challenges that you have now and what are the opportunities, and see how AI can have the solutions for it. Because we are stepping in an era where we can directly implement this, and knowing fully the challenges and being open to see how it would be implemented, and speak with the right stakeholders for that. And again, yes, the collaboration that will bring huge value.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Bissam. We're coming to the end of our today's roundtable. I would ask everyone to leave the comments in our corporate profiles if you have some questions to ask. There will be a recording published, and you will get the link to the recording on LinkedIn. So Bissam, thanks very much for this conversation. Really interesting.
Thank you, Artnik.
I wish you a great success with your new initiative and new product in Europe, and keep us posted on this.
Definitely. Thank you, and my pleasure.
Thanks a lot. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.